Hello and welcome back to lesson 15 of the Masuda Ashi introductory course. Today we'll be talking about the 6-color pattern distribution system which is based on the relative positioning of the 3 Masuda Ashi real body lines, that is the short term, the medium term and the long term Masuda Ashi lines. Their relative positioning meaning whether the short term is above the medium term and the long term, or any other combination thereof. There are 6 combinations altogether, hence 6 color patterns. Until now we've discussed many aspects of the Masuda Ashi chart system, and if someone was to ask you, what is the key feature or the key characteristic of the Masuda Ashi chart system, you would probably answer being able to spot trends at a glance, being able to spot turning points at a glance, near-term tops and near-term bottoms. And the way we do this is of course by noticing the difference between the color pink, which signifies an uptrend, and the color blue, which signifies a downtrend. And we also have discussed the different Masuda Ashi shadows, the 3-period or 3-day in this case, 25-day and 75-day Masuda Ashi shadows, and again instantly we can tell at a glance that the pink zone here is a buy zone and the blue zone here is a sell zone, i.e. the pink zone is an uptrending area and the blue zone is a downtrending or declining area. One other factor we discussed in detail was the relationship between the short-term Masuda Ashi line and the medium-term Masuda Ashi line. I'll just take the shadows off so that we can see these again. Just as a reminder, this is the short-term Masuda Ashi line. The medium-term Masuda Ashi line and the long-term Masuda Ashi line. And we said that the medium-term line, the real body line here, is important from the perspective of determining whether we are in an uptrend or whether we are in a downtrend. And the key area to note is where the medium-term real body line changes color, in this case from pink to blue. And normally when we are in an uptrend, the short-term line rides above, and conversely when we are in a downtrend, the short-term line trends below. So if we add the Masuda Ashi shadows just for the 3-day and the 25-day, you can see this even more clearly. When we are in an uptrend, the short-term line is trending above the medium-term line. When we're in a downtrend, the short-term line is trending below the medium-term line. And you can spot these turning points very clearly. However, until now we have not really discussed this remaining 75-day line, but now it plays a very important role in terms of the 6-color pattern distribution, which we're going to talk about in a little bit more detail in just a minute. But first of all, from what we've seen so far, we know that pink signifies an uptrend, and blue signifies a downtrend, and that this pink is a buy zone, the blue is a sell zone. However, we've got a blue here in the middle of 2 pinks, and a long blue here. Is this blue zone the same as this blue zone? Well, not necessarily, because if you add the 75-day Masuda Ashi shadows, you can see that overall this is a larger pink uptrend phase. So this blue phase in the middle of all of this pink is just like a temporary decline in the share price, or in share price energy, whereas this blue is overwhelmingly a downtrend. So even though it's the same blue, it's not exactly, it doesn't have the same meaning necessarily. So this is where the 75-day Masuda Ashi line comes in very handy. If we just take the 75-day shadow off again, even within the same pink area we have the kind of initial phase where we've just come out of a downtrend, for example, and then we have the initial growth phase followed by a longer maturity phase. So even within the same pink or uptrending area, there are different stages that we can identify. Similarly with the downtrend, you have the start of a downtrend accelerating more, and then in a larger downtrend or a mature downtrend phase. The 6-color pattern distribution system will help us analyze each of the respective stages within an uptrend and a downtrend more clearly. And to do this, we can click the button here that says zone, which will bring up the 6-color band as such. Now, there are two separate lines here. The top line is for the weekly chart, but we're on the daily chart now, so we only really want to look at the bottom line. Okay? Now, if we go back a little bit in time, we can see here the beginning of this pink phase was around this time. That is marked by a white color on the band up here, soon followed by yellow, and this was yellow for several days. Then it turned green and remained green through the rest of this phase here. Now, we will explain in more detail later the definition of each of these colors, but for now just remember that white represents the end of a downtrend, yellow represents the initial rising phase, and green represents a strong rising phase. Just to recap, the white is the end of a downtrend, the yellow is the initial rise, and green is an uptrend. These three colors are grouped as uptrending color patterns. Okay? And we have red here, which is, as you can see, correlates to this blue area, followed by green again. So, but let's go over here a bit more. We have red. Now this is like a red light is kind of a warning signal, which is followed by a blue, which is even more of a downtrend, and grey. This actually is representative of black, but because of the background color being black, if we had black here you wouldn't be able to see it, so please read grey as black in this case. These three colors, red, blue and black, or grey, on the screen are the three downtrending colors. Okay.